Hello. Okay, I'm gonna start. Hi, I'm Nawal. Many of you know me as a track and field athlete and also a fitness coach that's mainly dedicated to help women achieve independency at the gym. Becoming who I am today is a dream come true. It really wasn't easy at all. From all the self doubt I had and all the hurdles life threw at me. What I'm about to share with you is a part of my identity that I never thought I'd share. And for that, I would love to thank Lama for introducing me to this very amazing and needed community. And as well, I really want to thank Sama for offering us this sacred space. Now tell me, what would you do if I told you that everything you ever wanted already existed? It was just waiting for you to become the real version of yourself that's ready to accept all of it. And this is and the amazing things you ever longed for. Not just wished for or out of desire, but because you truly deserved them. The right partner, the right career, or your wildest of dreams. All the hard times and all the change and defeat. Every moment you felt the sorrow, it was all preparing you for what's about to come for you. If there is one thing that I have to say, it will be that you're not failing or making mistakes. Uh, okay. You are learning, and you'll keep falling for the same patterns till you learn, and that's beautiful. Because once you get what you truly worked, cried, and prayed for, then you'll know its true value, and it's priceless. To begin, I used to think or believe that I am too much, or am I that so hard to love? Am I too demanding or too complicated? Meanwhile, all what I was asking for was to be loved, respected, and valued. In other words, validation. I come from a very strict and religious family, and I broke every single thing and every belief they implied on me. Not because religion is bad or that I didn't believe in it, but because I really didn't understand why I was forced to it that hard or in that way. At the end of the day, religion wasn't the problem. It was society and how I was introduced to religion. You just have to obey and never dare to ask questions. And now looking back at it, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. And honestly, I would trade every single thing that I went through to be where I am now. The 18 years old Nawal would never believe me because what do you mean that I'm an athlete now? And not just that, my whole life is about empowering women through the gym and sports, making them feel how strong they truly are, both physically and mentally. And not just that, they can even achieve gym independency with me because really, we don't need anyone to tell us or to teach us to do the right thing at the gym. I started running as a trauma response, and I didn't know that till recently. Not long ago, I read an article about how traumatized people seek endurance training as a coping mechanism. And not just that, I ran a full marathon of 42 kilometers, and I can't wait to share the journey that I went through. Back then, I was so used to please my surrounding and to stay on the safe side. Taking risks used to freak me out. It kinda still does, but not the same way. Right now, I'd immediately let go whoever don't respect my boundaries or match my vibe and values. We don't have time for that. Seeing things now from the future, I acknowledge that my surrounding didn't know any better. And the way they used to deal with things was a way of how they are used to express their love and care. It was their way of showing protection. But everything that happened, from all the restrictions and all the boundaries I was surrounded with, made me try exploring on my own, which made me do huge mistakes, especially picking the wrong partners over and over again till I finally learned. Branching out wasn't easy. Getting and carrying my way was so hard that for years I thought that this was it for me. I really wanted to feel that I belonged to my family and their beliefs and the society that was around me. I wanted to please them so hard that I thought all what I have to do was to follow their footsteps and being very religious, be with a religious partner, live a boring life like they did, safe with an almost a neglecting partner that's giving the bare minimum. And not just that, I used to be always afraid that I'll not be good enough for him and that I should always look good, be the best, have a safe job, be a good wife, a good wife, and at the end of the day, live in fear that this partner will be cheating on me if I wasn't all of that, because that was the norm of that society. I never thought I'd find a decent, loyal, and a loving man, honestly, but happily, after eternity, I did. Thank you. But what hurt most was, and what I find most astonishing is, that it's always the mere mediocre male man that brings nothing to the table, make us question our self-worth. I don't know where they get this audacity or their confidence for. I fell for these patterns twice. They took nearly 5 years of my life, but they prepared me well for what I have at the moment. So at 17, I decided to be with someone allegedly religious just because I was having conflict with religion. I thought that by being with him, it might be a redirection to the right path. Little did I know that I know nothing about him, and that yet I was so innocent, but I fell hardly in disbelief. The first couple of months of that relationship were all okay, but later on, I was being dragged to do things that religious people don't really do, but I didn't know better. I don't know how I survived that relationship, but I did. From being manipulated to later on discover that he do substances. Yet alone, he was talking with God know how many women. But we moved. But it was that relationship that introduced me to feminism and to women's rights. Even if I wasn't physically abused, I was still cheated on and I was manipulated. I was literally mentally abused. This relationship caused me a lot of struggles. Like, was I not worthy enough, pretty enough? And I was so blinded that I couldn't see that I was not the problem. I self-sabotaged myself and I thought that I was the issue from being treated that way, you know? Meanwhile, I was the mentally unstable something. ما حنقول أكتر من هيك. I was so depressed, I couldn't keep up with university, let alone any major. بس كلية العلوم, like, if you know, you know. I was literally falling apart, finding it so hard to exist, till the day I saw a brochure outside of the class that's talking about a running practice, and it was then that I decided I would start running. I was so self-reserved, and my first day was very awkward. Not just I wasn't able to finish one lap without stopping, but because I truly met the closest people to my heart. If it wasn't for them, I don't know what I'd be doing now. But running changed my life. Was I good at it or was I bad? It still changed my life. At the beginning, I picked long distance running like with Beirut Marathon. Running made me feel so empowered. It was the first time that I felt that I was able to do and to complete hard things. It was so hard that I was able to finish all the trainings. I literally started running as a dedication for those that have lost their voices, especially women, because somehow I personally related to that as well. Because facing and telling my family that I wanted to start running was huge. Because we are religious, we don't do that. At some point when I first started running, I swear I remember I had this conversation with my cousin when I was around 8 years old. All what I remember was that she said she wanted to win a Nobel Prize. And all what I said out of the blues was that I wanted to go to the Olympics. Did I even know what the Olympic mean by then? Probably not. Did I end up chasing running? I sure did. Am I going to the Olympic? I really don't know and I don't care because I would trade a gold Olympic medal to have what I have today. Was it Marwan, my partner, or even my track? I think I did win gold, so alhamdulillah. But unfortunately, shortly after having this running breakthrough, I was still struggling by feeling unworthy or not worthy, maybe not good enough, because why I still can't find someone that loves me for me. As I said earlier, we'll keep falling for the same pattern till we learn. My second relationship was horrendous because not was I very out of his league, he was literally doing nothing but threatening to leave me or to break up with me every 2 or 3 days. Never had we spent a good time together that wasn't followed by a breakup, a text, or a big fight. I really don't know why I stayed with someone that never respected me or even showed me love. I was always being mocked, laughed at, and he made me feel stupid and small. Mister, you don't even have a degree. And I used to pay him gas to drop me at my house. I know. We all make mistake, okay? Yet he never held my hand to cross the road. And I'm quoting him, it's too tiring. Yeah. Marwan now. Whenever he had the chance to drop me off, he won't leave before he checks that everything is okay and he checks on everyone. Yet he never let me walk except on the side when there's no cars. I endured a lot. I really wanted to leave, but I couldn't because I felt so weak being on my own. I was so scared simply because I was so used to getting hurt that letting go was out of the equation because that wasn't the norm. The fights were about everything. The way I was dressing, my makeup, my friends, what I was wearing to running. Like literally, he was doing nothing with his life. The moment he gets money, he go buy games. I used to work. I used to spoil him, pay the meals and gas, and get yelled at if I bought something for myself. I really wanted to talk about this incident. Okay. Okay, now shit gets real. Once we were on the street and someone that sells flowers had a huge bouquet, like literally a huge bouquet, that he no longer wanted it. And like, he saw a couple walking down the street. So he said, okay, I'm going to give it to them. So he gave it to her and that would be a nice gesture. So I got so excited because this man gets me nothing. And do you really want to know what he did the moment that guy gave him flowers? He looked at the huge bouquet and he said, I'm going to give it to my mom. He gave it to his mom. And then I was like, bro, he gave it to you for me, like, obviously. But I was like, okay, whatever. But he gave me like 3, 4 flowers. And okay, thanks. I still didn't leave. And by then I wasn't innocent. I was stupid. But we move. It's okay. لحظة ضاعت وين صرت؟ 3 سنين. Oh my god, متت. أنا هيك شفتي؟ رن nawal. Okay, now we get to the good part, the breakthrough. I realized that I was being love bombed, manipulated, and I was really drowning. But the universe answers, and you just have to listen. The moment I wanted to break through, everything helped me and was to my favor. Articles, posts about manipulation and narcissistic traits, all were being shown to me. I had no idea what I was going through. But things started to make sense, and then I started to dig deeper. Although I gained this consciousness and recognized that I am worthy and I can't accept being this low, I still found it so hard to leave until Corona came. The moment I stopped seeing him, the moment letting go became easier. Because anyway, we were breaking up twice a day at this point. But I struggled a lot, and I really had the best breakthrough during this lockdown. That relationship drained me, made me question myself, my worth, and my purpose. I gained a lot of faith, and had some coaches even refused to coach me on track because by then I was too fat. I was too fat, yes, but I was working on it. Murtada recalls. The lockdown was my savior. I locked in. I wasn't a coach or know anything about sports, exercises, or gym, but I know that I had a vision, and by the time this lockdown is over, I knew that I'll be a new one. It's true that you bloom once you leave all the toxicity behind. It hurts, but screw your emotion. Let's go achieve those dreams. Gyms and tracks were all closed, so I didn't have much to do except home exercises and to eat well. It worked. I really don't know what I did, but it worked. The moment the lockdown was over, I went to the track, and that coach that refused to coach me didn't recognize me, which was a win. So here I am, thriving and living life to its fullest. حسنت حالي منيح. I read a lot, and now I felt invincible. I truly know what to look in for a partner now, not just physically, but a connection. I stopped searching for love, and I was really looking for a partner. And the answer to my prayer finally happened. Marwan. Now I know my worth, my value, my boundaries, and the things that I stand for. The way I dress, I act, and be around people. I was aware. I gained awareness, and it was so good. After a few failed dates and someone told me that he was engaged at the end of the date and another one had me pay for my drink, I met Marwan and we almost clicked instantly. A gentle and a respectable man, sign me in. When I say he's the answers to my prayer, I'm not joking. I still remember I used to cry to Allah when I was 13. Like, will you ever give me a man that genuinely loved me? After everything I went through, when I only learned all the hard lessons, he sent him to my way effortlessly. I love you. I was still going through a metamorphosis, just lost weight and blooming, seeing my friends competing on track, wishing I was doing the same. And I started to give it my all. So I trained for 2 years alone, and then I'm gonna stop reading and tell you what happened. Okay. So after that, in 2 years, I was training alone. I was like, and of course, having Marwan by my side, having the right people next to me. Marwan made me to push it, to go through and like, okay, when it comes to running, you need to be in a club in order to progress also. So Marwan helped me to take that decision. And when I started like to run and so on, and I wanted to go pro, I really need to do the gym. And I'm someone that doesn't like to be told what to do. So Marwan convinced me to go pick up and become a gym coach. And now that's exactly what I do for a living. But after that, what I really want to shed the light on is that it's something so funny. I come from a very athletic family, but of course it's always the man. I had a cousin who's a football player and he's professional. I have another cousin who is a head coach of a known football team. And then, to my shock, only like that years, after 10 years of running, I discovered that I have a cousin who is a sprinter. And he used to compete with my coach, and he used to be like, my coach coached him and stuff. So what happened is one time my coach asked me like, do you know this person? And obviously we had the same family name. I was like, I only know one person with this family name and it's my cousin. And then he said my uncle's name. And now I'm telling him like, are you telling me that my cousin is a sprinter and now like I'm here? Like that was that moment that I knew that I was meant to be. And I'm just the first woman athlete in my family. And like, if I want to wrap it up, I only want to say like a few words. Women, if anyone make you feel like you are too much, you are too clingy, or he's trying to belittle you, it's not you. You're just surrounded by the wrong people because you deserve every single thing that's beautiful in this world. Now I have something that I really want to read at the end. Okay. So one last thing to say is that everything will lead you to where you want to be, even if you feel that things are falling apart. They're just making space for better things to come. The sad thing to say is that before war, I reached my peak. I was training perfectly, my career was blooming, and the moment war hit, I thought that I lost everything, but it was the push I needed to move out, which is wild. عن جد والحمد لله على سلامة الكل أكيد. So, so all the heartbreak, the bitterness of life, the tears, and all of that had led me to achieve what I wanted. Like literally everything happened for a reason. My heart is full. Thank you so much. I tried to wrap it up.